We scramble them, fry them, poach them. And if you're Michael Phelps, eat 22 of them for breakfast. We love eating them. But what if we made eggs from scratch? Birds, reptiles, and even some mammals lay eggs. So why can't we? Let's get cracking and find out. How would our lives change if we could lay eggs? And how many could we produce? What would our egg babies look like? This is What If? And here's what would happen if humans laid eggs. Believe it or not, egg-laying mammals have been around for a very long time. They are the most ancient living order of mammals. These friendly critters, known as monotremes, include the platypus and the echidna. Miraculously, they still manage to feed their young with their mother's milk. But could a human pull this off? Well, unlike a bird or a crocodile, our babies might have a tough time breaking out of an egg without a beak or a hook nose. They would probably need to have quite a bit of strength or a formidable schnoz. Perhaps human mothers would instinctually know when it's time for their egg to hatch and start cracking its shell. Or we'd bring them into the hospital for x-rays and get an estimated time of birth. Either way, to make an egg that supports a human baby, it would have to be pretty large, like dinosaur egg large. So you might want to start those yoga classes you've been putting off. When an egg is laid, it's not the egg that grows, but what's inside it. In this scenario, human babies would have to be much smaller. The heaviest baby on record was almost 10 kilograms and measured 71 centimeters. Oh, that poor, poor woman. In order for a human to survive in an egg, the yolk would have to be chock full of all the nutrients a baby would get from its mother. This term, known as viviparity, refers to the retention and growth of a fertilized embryo within the mother's body until the young animal is capable of existing independently. Would this mean every time a woman ovulates, she'd lay an egg? Well, if they're fertilized properly, then yes, quite possibly. A monotreme produces about 12 to 13 eggs each year for around 40 years. We're not sure how many humans would produce, but we might have an even bigger population crisis on our hands. At the very least, the egg decorating business would be booming. And well, let's suppose orphanages would be too. Either way, we'd have many more mouths to feed. So what if we evolved to produce them? How would society change? While skipping 9 months of pregnancy might sound like a blessing, egg-laying would have its own set of problems. Instead of incubating a baby for several months in a uterus, mothers would have a short gestation period before giving birth. Once laid, they would have to keep their eggs warm and protected from any hungry predators for around 8.5 months, if we're going by monotreme standards. Rather than having to hold a baby in the womb for 9 months, women would finally have the freedom to do all the things they would otherwise put off while pregnant, like drinking coffee, rock climbing, or skydiving. What? Go big or go home. This might eliminate the need for cesarean sections or inductions, but women would have a tough time knowing when they're due. You might pop out an egg or two on your washroom break at work, or even worse, the commute home. In any case, we'd probably develop some incubation centers, so we wouldn't have to carry them around with us all the time. Or some people may opt to show them off in stylish egg strollers. And if you're a family member, be prepared for a lot more baby showers and the new craze, hatching parties. Hilariously, there has been one report of a human laying an egg. In 2015, a 14-year-old boy named Akmal in Goa, Indonesia, supposedly laid 20 of them. But don't hold your breath. This is an impossible feat and was likely a very painful publicity stunt. Oh boy, what people will do for a moment in the spotlight. If men could be pregnant, that might even out the playing field. Frankly, I'm all for it. If humans had a shorter lifespan, like monotremes do, laying eggs might be an evolutionary way for our species to survive. So, if we could only live for 24 hours, well, we'd probably be sitting on a hefty brood of them. But that's a story for another What If.